Hello, my name is Peter Fujiwara and welcome to the introductory lesson in iPhoneography, the video edition. Today we're going to be just doing sort of an overview of what you're going to be doing and some of the important concepts in understanding video in general. One of the keys to knowing about video and knowing what makes a difference is that video done well can actually transmit a message more effectively than if you gave like a 2-hour presentation. Okay, now let's get on to our lesson. Our lesson for this one is actually more theoretical and conceptual, although I will give you an activity later. Now, I have a 4-step process or a 4-stage process that I make sure that my students think about when they're producing a video. And the first one is know. Know is just the facts. You're going to produce a video that's going to tell someone factual information like Christmas is a time of giving or anything like that. That is just strictly a fact. The next is you want your audience to think. Think is how you bring in opinion and bias. So you want them to think that, no, don't go spend money. Do something. Giving your time is more important. And this is where you bias the information. But ultimately, where the art comes into the production of video and the production of media is if you make them feel something. If they feel something, if an emotion is generated, that's where true change occurs. And that's the power of that video that my student produced. Okay, you actually feel something. Okay, and then that elusive 4th stage. Now that elusive 4th stage, for many people, you'll never know. Luckily, in this case, we did. The 4th stage is action. Did that 52 seconds bring someone to action? And in this case, 52 seconds shifted the direction of an entire school district. So think about that. That is the power of doing video well. Anyway, going on to the next stage, a little activity, a little lesson that you can do. And I'm throwing this in just because one of the Apple people had mentioned that every video is going to have an activity. Wasn't planning one, but I figured I'd throw one in since I don't want to make her a liar. Anyway, so for this little activity, you're just going to take out your iPhone. Where's mine? In my pocket. iPhone 11 Pro. And I want you to know that photographic concepts actually apply to video, as you probably knew or maybe you didn't know. And so some of the rules for shooting video are the same as in photography. And I want you to understand the rule of thirds, okay, which I'm sure you've heard many, many times. So if you look at this video, and you look at me sliced up here, I'm going to put grids on. Hopefully I've done it now. And I've placed myself at one of the intersections in the rule of thirds. And that's what I want you to do. Okay? I want you to just film something centered. Let's see, centered like this, which would be a mistake. And then if you put the head right in the square, that's really a mistake. Okay? You really want it at one of the intersections. Okay, now that's the rule of thirds there. There's also one other thing I want you to play with. Okay, that's the rule of thirds, but I also want you to think about a thing called looking room. So here's the rule of thirds done correctly, where I am looking slightly in this direction because my mic is here. Okay, so that's why I'm on this side of the rule of thirds. If I was looking this way and you put me over here in the rule of thirds, big mistake, because the looking room is looking in the short side when the looking room should be on the long side. So if I turn my head this way in the rule of thirds, if I could do that properly, it'd be correct, but the mic's in the way. So this side, looking this way, is correct. If I was looking this way, it's incorrect. Looking room is improper. So think about those two things. So I want you to go shoot a shot, first centered poorly. So like your head's like right in the middle, like that. And then shoot the same person, whoever it is, get them in the correct rule of thirds, and then the incorrect rule of thirds. And the reason why I want you to shoot this, I did this with my students all the time. Shoot the mistake. Always shoot the mistake. Because if you get used to shooting the mistake, you sit there and say, I never want to do that. It's uncomfortable. I know the rule. And then once you've done it once and you've shot the mistake, you don't make that mistake anymore because you just think it's ugly. Anyway, so enjoyed that little activity. It's very short, very simple, but hopefully you'll never make the mistake again. Okay, hold on here. Now, I just started editing that video. Notice my hair's different. It's a different day and I'm wearing a different shirt, different framing probably too. That was a terrible lesson. And I am pointing too much. Oh my gosh, that just sounds so funny. I've been pointing at the screen all the time. It's just, I don't normally do that. But I don't know why I'm doing that with this. Anyway, it was an awful lesson. It really didn't give you clear instructions. So I decided I better shoot again and throw in, and I'm trying not to point right now. Show you how to actually do this. So first thing you're to do is you're going to get your phone, and let me just turn it on here. And what you're going to do is you want to set up the grid on your phone. So the way you do that is hit settings, scroll down until you find camera, which is here somewhere. I just went past it. Where did it go? Camera. There we go. Camera. And you'll notice at the very top, you're going to see grid. So just tap the grid. And then when you go back to your camera app, you'll see that now you've got a grid. So if you hold it like that, you'll have a grid option. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go outside with your camera and you're going to frame up your shots. And I just pointed again. You're going to frame up your shots just as I said in the activity. So the first shot is going to be centered, and which is obviously incorrect. And we'll call that the centered shot. And just shoot for about 3 seconds. And then you're going to shoot the rule of thirds shot, but with poor looking room, which means that the shot's going to be on the short side, looking awkward because he's looking into the short side of the rule of thirds. And then take the correct shot, where you've got the long side of the rule of thirds for the looking room. Okay, and each one of those do 3 seconds. Now, if you'd like, you can do it in the same thing and zoom in to, like, if you have a camera that has like a telephoto at 2x, and do the same thing. Put it in the center, do the short side, then do the long side, 3 seconds each. And then what you're going to do is just go into your phone and run iMovie and stitch them together. And I don't want you to do anything special except drop the clips in individually and just watch them. And just take a look at the sequence and see which one is the most pleasing, which I know you know the answer to that. Anyway, hopefully those instructions are a little bit clearer, and that's what we can discuss later on. And we'll see you in the next video. Or if you want to join us on the live on Friday, 2 o'clock on Friday, Eastern Standard Time, we'll be going live on at Creative Station. And I'll be there to take any of your questions or any thoughts about what we're going to be doing in the future. Anyway, take care, and we'll see you hopefully Friday.